nobody really cares about a portfolio. We care about the actual portfolio, which is your projects. Now, two things to talk about. So one is portfolio website. I'm not sure how many of you do have portfolio websites. And this portfolio website, how unique is your portfolio website? Because one thing I've noticed is most portfolio websites that I've come across, most of them are copy-paste, Control-C, Control-V. You go online, look for a portfolio that is flashy, having good color choices, and the arrangement and everything about the portfolio is good, either on YouTube or even on GitHub, because we have a number of repositories online on GitHub that you can simply go and fork or clone and then just replace them with your details and your projects. And also we have a number of portfolio tutorials on YouTube that people just go there, they watch along, and then they replicate whatever the portfolio the guy has built into theirs. What they do is simply replace the content from using the other person's name to using their own name. Okay. Now, this is really good, but I think the rate at which people copy portfolio websites, for example, today you can come across a portfolio website that is similar to a number that you've seen before. The only difference is the projects that they have in the portfolio and also maybe the details of the portfolio. Now, having a portfolio website for me is not something that I really think we should really focus on as much. Something that you should focus on is the projects or what you have that can be put in a portfolio. A good example, you can't have a very good looking portfolio. The responsiveness is very good. The color themes are really matching. The content there, you have projects and everything. Now, the portfolio itself is good, hosted, and even having custom domain. Or sometimes you just use the Facel domain which they give you when you deploy your application. But then now, if you go inside this portfolio, you start looking at the content that they have in their portfolio, then you notice something is not right. Why? Because the portfolio itself is very flashy. Like, it speaks a lot and gives whoever is viewing a portfolio some high expectations. They expect that you're going to meet some good projects on your portfolio. And then when now you go to the portfolio and you start like viewing it from the projects section, because that is the point of focus. What projects do you have? And maybe some experience. And this person realizes that you really don't have tangible projects in your portfolio. So you're focusing on building a portfolio to look flashy, but then you don't have something tangible that you want to add to your portfolio. Okay. Now, I myself, the very first website I built was my portfolio. This portfolio was built on Bootstrap, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And I'll show you guys a screenshot of how it looks, or even just a small demo of my very first portfolio website, which I did way back in 2022, around December. During that time, that was the best of my portfolio. Like that, I felt like I did the best. I'm the best developer, or the best web developer during that time, because one, I was happy I could place a button somewhere, add like links which you click. It sent me it like redirected you to WhatsApp, where you could get a message that said, "Hey, I came across your portfolio and it's really amazing. Can you connect?" I really felt good about it, and the fact that it was having my picture there, my CV. By then, my CV was just a CV having my personal details. No projects or nothing. The only project I had was my portfolio. But still, I felt so good. Like, I had my first website live. And I remember even sharing it to my class group, telling them, guys, check my first website. And at least 2 or 3 people reacted. Amazing, you know. And that's where I got my confidence to build in public in the first place, always sharing what I do. But fast forward, I've never used this portfolio anywhere. And in fact, I forgot about this portfolio and only came across it the other day when I was looking for options to deploy for a client, a next project, so that they can see the progress of my development while I build. So I went to Netlify and came across my old projects, my OG project, the very first project I had. But in the span of all these 3 years or 2 years or so, I've never used my portfolio anywhere. No one has asked my portfolio. What they have asked me is, do you have products you've built before? That is the one question that they ask. Number 2, Do your projects have real users? That is the second question that I get asked. Number 3, can you explain the challenges you faced while building this project? Can you explain how you overcame those projects and what have you learned along the way while you're building this project? Okay. Now, they are interested in what I have built, not what who I say I am. With the portfolio tries just to tell us who you are, okay? But if who you are is portrayed in the portfolio doesn't reflect how your portfolio looks, then your portfolio is taking you nowhere. If you want to have a portfolio, at least have some tangible projects that can actually tell us who exactly are you, okay? Now, if you don't have a portfolio, you can still tell us who you are by telling us about your projects that you've built, the challenges you faced, and what you learned while building these projects. That alone can tell us who you are without having a portfolio projects. Your projects are the portfolio. Having a portfolio without projects is like just a name. We just know you by your name, but we don't know who you are when it comes to tech. So I really think we should not focus on building portfolio websites as our first project. Maybe you can use it to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but then don't focus much on your portfolio. Always focus on projects. That is the real portfolio, the projects you've built. Okay. And then I do have a feeling that we should always come up with designs that are tailored to our own liking instead of just going online and copying portfolios that exist and making them ours by just changing the names, education, and all that. Nobody really cares about a portfolio. We care about the actual portfolio, which is your projects. So give more time to your projects and let your projects be your portfolio. Thank you for listening till the end. Osego Codes signing out.